Chapter 10. The Impossible Question. The familiar air of his grandparents, though comforting in its own way, couldn't quell the swirling storm inside Sam. He traced the faint, almost invisible lines on his forearm, where angry scrapes and road rash had been just a few days ago. It was baffling. Not a single scar, not even a hint of discolored skin. It was as if his tumble down that embankment, the one that had sent a jolt of panic through his system and landed him squarely in the realm of the unbelievable, had been erased from his very flesh. How? He muttered, turning his arm over and knee, then back again. How did it heal so fast? He'd spent the past week immersed in the hushed hospital waiting rooms and the cloying scent of disinfectant. Grandpa's broken hip surgery had gone smoothly, thankfully, and he was now stable, albeit a bit groggy from the painkillers. While his parents spent their days assisting Grandma at the hospital and around the house, handling logistics, Sam did his best to focus on his grandpa, on helping his grandma with meals and fetching things, trying to compartmentalize the bizarre events of the previous week. But now, in the quiet of the guest room, the questions pressed in on him like a physical weight. He thought back to the impossibly fast movement, the feeling of something, helping him, guiding him, protecting him. He was sure of it. And that was the problem. Who could he possibly ask about this? His parents would worry, probably send him to a therapist. His friends already knew about the previous encounter, but how could he explain the impossible healing? They'd never believe him. They'd think he was making it up. Or worse, that he was losing his mind. He was adrift in a sea of inexplicable phenomena, and the loneliness of it was almost as unsettling as the mystery itself. With no computer at hand, and knowing his grandparents didn't have one either, the vastness of the internet offered no immediate escape from his thoughts. A wild, almost insane idea sparked in his mind. He dismissed it instantly. No, impossible. He shook his head, running a hand through his hair. But the thought, once conjured, refused to leave. He remembered the feeling, the sensation of a presence, almost a communication without words. Was it alive? Could he actually try to connect with it again? The very notion felt absurd, yet a desperate hope flickered within him. He sighed, a long, drawn-out sound that carried the weight of his bewilderment and his growing, undeniable curiosity. Maybe, he whispered to the empty room. Just maybe. Chapter 11. Whispers in the Quiet. Sam knew he couldn't just sit there, waiting for answers to magically appear. The thought of the inexplicable healing and the sensation of that protective presence gnawed at him. He needed to try. He closed his eyes, focusing on the memory of the fall, of the rush of air, the feeling of being guided, the intense surge of something. He tried to clear his mind, to reach out, almost as if sending a silent plea into the air. He concentrated on the feeling, the impossible speed, the sense of being held. For a long moment, there was nothing, just the quiet hum of the house, the distant sounds of traffic, the familiar comfort of his grandparents' guest room. A wave of doubt washed over him. This is insane, he thought. What was I expecting? Just as he was about to give up, a faint sensation tickled at the edges of his awareness. It wasn't a sound or a sight, but a feeling, like a whisper against his skin, a pressure that wasn't quite physical. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet distinct from the normal sensations of the room. It was like a faint echo of the presence he'd felt during the fall, a gentle hum beneath the surface of his thoughts. He held his breath, trying to amplify it, to understand. Was it his imagination? Or was something truly responding? The feeling intensified ever so slightly, a sense of something listening. Sam tried again, this time with more purpose. He focused not just on the memory of the fall, but on the desire for understanding. He pushed his thoughts outward, a silent question forming in his mind. What are you? Why did you help me? The subtle hum grew a little stronger, a low thrumming sensation that resonated deep within him. It was still non-physical, but undeniable. It felt less like a whisper now, and more like a gentle pressure, a presence filling the room around him. He repeated the exercise, each time trying to project his thoughts, his questions, his sheer bewilderment. With every attempt, the connection solidified. The vague hum became a distinct vibration, not in the air, but in his very bones, a sympathetic resonance. The pressure around him intensified, a tangible sense of something vast and ancient, yet also incredibly close. What surprised him most was the complete lack of fear or anxiety. Instead, a profound calm settled over him, as if the very presence itself emanated a sense of peace. It wasn't menacing. It felt attentive. It was as if a door, previously sealed shut, was slowly, steadily creaking open. As the connection deepened, a new phenomenon began to emerge, faintly at first, then with increasing clarity. Images flickered at the edges of Sam's mind's eye. They weren't like dreams or memories, but more like sudden, vivid flashes. He saw a swirling vortex of light, a fleeting glimpse of an ancient symbol he'd never seen before, a sensation of immense speed traveling through what felt like empty space. Then, the vision shifted, becoming more complex, more narrative. Sam saw a person, ancient in appearance, with a serene, knowing expression, deeply engrossed in reading a book. Their attire was unlike anything Sam had ever seen before, made of materials that seemed to shift and shimmer in impossible ways, with intricate designs he couldn't quite grasp. The book itself was unlike anything Sam had ever encountered. Its pages seemed to shimmer, and the symbols and language were utterly alien, intricate and beautiful, yet completely unintelligible. The scene shifted abruptly, replaced by flashes of chaotic, brutal battle, not between humans, but between creatures, beings of immense power in strange forms, clashing in a maelstrom of energy and destruction. He couldn't make out specifics, but the sheer scale and raw power of the conflict were breathtaking and terrifying, even through the lens of the vision. These fragmented, ethereal glimpses flooded his mind, a torrent of information he couldn't yet decipher, but instinctively knew were connected to the present, a form of communication beyond words. He focused on these fleeting visions, trying to make sense of the abstract information they conveyed.